the channel. Gentlemen, in this video I want to speak about comparison being the thief of joy and my 2 cents on it, okay? So a lot of people talk about this, and honestly a lot of average people talk about this, people that were never able to go and achieve their dreams and have settled will throw this around a lot to make you not grind as hard. Now, why do I say that? Okay? But before I get into that, what I do want you to understand is that there is truth to the statement that comparison is the thief of joy. There's really truth to anything, some of it, right? But the way there's truth to comparison being the thief of joy is because what happens is every time you compare yourself, you feel behind. You feel like you could be doing more, going harder, putting in more work, whatever it is, right? Or that you should be further along the line than you are. And so it steals this joy from you. It steals this, almost in the fact of like all of your accomplishments and what you've done, you kind of just disregard and put to the side. And so that's why most say, hey, comparison's the thief of joy. But it's bullshit. Let me tell you why, bro. What happens when you endlessly compare yourself? What happens when you continuously compare yourself to people that are doing better than you? People that are having the things that you want to have and doing the things you want to do? This is something that I have been doing for who knows how long. And every single time you compare yourself continuously, it puts you in that feeling of you need to be going harder. So every single time you compare yourself, you automatically start to go harder and think you need to go harder, which dictates, again, your mind. Your mind dictates your actions dictate your results. And so continuously comparing yourself will get you more results in whatever it is that you're actually trying to achieve. And so that is why I say, listen, bro, continuously compare yourself to the people you want to be like. Continuously compare yourself to whatever it is, to somebody, whoever, whatever. If it's not a person, whatever it is. Because that will push you to new levels every single time. It will activate new levels of grind. It will push you like nothing else will. And so in comparison, is there a lot to be gained? Lots to be gained. And as I said for myself, bro, this is something I continuously do to this day. Because realistically, bro, does it matter if we're happy or not? Like, yes, it is something I personally think we should strive for, but not firsthand. Because if we only did the things that we were joyful about and happy about, and we didn't do like the painful things, the suffering things, the sacrificing things, right? Like, especially, for example, going to the gym. Like, bro, do you really think there's obviously happiness and joy in the gym, but only once you understand that. In the beginning, it sucks. There's pain, sacrifice. It's very hateful. You don't like it at all. There's nothing really to be gained in the beginning mentally, right? Because of your perspective on it. And what I'm getting at with that is like, happiness is essential, and I think it is something you should strive for. Because if you're climbing the mountain that you're not going to like the view at the top of, essentially none of it's worth it, right? Because your happiness, essentially, the view, it all being worth it, is at the top. However, if you know that the view of that top of the mountain is essentially, let's label it as your happiness, and as the new levels that you're striving towards and things along those lines, and the climb to the top of that mountain is going to be filled with pain and sacrifice and all these things and everything you've ever wanted, essentially, it is worth it. And that is why I say comparing yourself will take away your joy, but how important is your temporary joy? The best way for me to break that down is like, okay, imagine you have joy reaching the mountain, like steps to that joy, and at the top of the mountain is essentially like the ultimate joy. It's like you'd be fine giving up temporary joy while you're climbing the mountain, right? And then once you get to the top of the mountain, what happens then usually is you realize there's another bigger mountain and you start to climb that one. And so in a way, it's like, dude, your joy, your happiness essentially doesn't really matter, but it does matter. It's just you are striving towards the things that are your happiness, but the happiness itself doesn't matter whatsoever. Because if we only did the things we were happy about, joyful about, none of it would be fucking worth it, bro. None of it would make sense, because the only reason happiness is good and we strive for it and joy is because we know what it's like to feel sad. We know what it's like to be on the opposite end of that spectrum. And so it's like, listen, bro, you're gonna have to give away some of your joy. You're gonna have to give away. You're gonna have to dig away. You're gonna have to dig into the sadness. You're gonna have to embrace the sadness, all these different things, to then continuously have the joy be worth it, right? And I think there's a difference between being self-aware and realizing where you have come and embracing the fruits to your labor and essentially like enjoying moments of joy and really embracing your accomplishments. But at the same time, there's no time to waste, bro. Feel joy, feel happiness in the moments. Be self-aware, but then continuously compare yourself and on to the next, on to the next, on to the next, on to the next, right? You never really reach the top. New levels, new devils. But we know it was never really about the top, bro. I talk about this all the time. It was never really about the result. It was never about getting to the finish line, bro. It was all about just the journey and the endless hustling, the endless commitment to yourself, the endless enjoyment of finding it in the actual work, in the race itself. It's never about winning, bro. Winning is inevitable when you train so hard, when you work so hard. And so the way you're going to be able to train harder, the way you're going to be able to work harder is in that comparison. So boys, hopefully you took something valuable from this video and really understanding my 2 cents when it comes to comparing yourself and how I think it's actually a good thing. Even though, unfortunately, it is what it is. Sometimes it can make us feel, all the time, it can make us feel like we're behind, that we need to be doing more. But in retrospect, that only will serve you better. Never going more hard will serve you worse, bro. Like, hopefully I didn't say this at the beginning of the video, but it's like, I've never looked back on my life and been like, you know what? I wish I didn't go as hard as I did. Like, just saying that out loud sounds kind of stupid, right? There were times in my life where I wish I was going harder, but there were never times where I was like, I wish I was going less hard. And the only way, and a great way to play life to your advantage, again, trick yourself continuously, is by continuously comparing yourself and knowing you could be doing more, thinking you could be doing more. So boys, with that being said, love you guys as always. Hopefully you took something valuable from